life is short. So the time to live your dreams and goals is now because you never know when your last day will be. So make a commitment to living your life to the fullest.
This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good afternoon, Tandee Salter. Previously, episode 658 of the 12-Minute Convos podcast. It's been just 2 years, 11 months, 14 days, 3 hours, and 15 minutes since we last recorded that conversation.
I would just like to encourage your audience to get back up. Even when you fall on that bike or you're learning that new skill, always get back up. Something great is coming your way.
That was then. This is now. Tandee, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for having me back on the show.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. I was preparing for this conversation and just listening to where you were in terms of the coaching space and how you're helping others. How has that evolved? Are you still doing that?
I am still coaching, but it has evolved a lot. I've done a lot of growth for personal and business development. So I'm more so doing business coaching, specializing in email marketing.
Ooh, tell us more. Tell us more about that, please.
Okay, so when I started my coaching, I was struggling with my marketing. So I was determined to get it down no matter what. I took courses, hired my own coaches, and from that, I was able to start growing my business more. And I had a couple people started asking me to help them with their marketing or what they could do differently. And the email piece came in. I was talking to an accountability partner, and she says, I hate email marketing. I hate writing. It takes too much time. It gives me a headache. And I was like, but I love emails. They're easy, they're fun, and it's a unique way to connect directly with your audience. So I took over doing her email marketing for her. Then she started referring me to other people. So I've just grown from there.
Wow, that's amazing. So I dislike it as well, right? I dislike email marketing, and sometimes I find it can be a bit intrusive, right? I guess the copy has a lot to do with that, right? So how are you keeping that from being obtrusive to those? I mean, it's like a million emails are coming to people, it seems sometimes, right?
Absolutely. It's like we get emails all day. So I really work with my clients to help them understand how to build relationships with their audience. And of course, you do have to make sure you have individual permission before adding them to your list. Don't just add everybody to your email list. Always get direct permission and build the relationship so that way they look forward to your emails and it's not one they just want to delete because they get tired of all the emails.
Yeah, like there's a software I use. I forgot the name of it, but it just bulks all of my emails into one space. So I get to open all of my emails on one day, as opposed to, those things that I'm subscribed with, where they're just continuously hitting you, right? Where's the best place for those that are listening to connect with you to find out more about what you do with email marketing?
You can connect with me at my website at tandeesalter.com or on Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn at Tandee Salter.
Now, I realize that you started a podcast. How's that going?
It is going great. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while. And then last year, I finally just said I was going to do it. So I did some solo episodes. Then I said, you know what? I'm going to try interviewing. And within the first couple of weeks, I was completely booked with interviews. So
Wow.
over the last year, it has been a great experience. I've learned a lot more about podcasting, and it's just another way to connect with people that I love so much. And plus, it helps me teach other entrepreneurs, and I'm also learning from my guests.
Yeah. So the name of the show is the Tandee Salter Show, yeah? I
Yes.
was listening to an episode with Freddie Fry.
Yes.
Yeah. And yeah, I was like, wow, look at Tandee here. Like, wow. Like she's started the podcast and then you've continuously remained consistent with it. Like many people pod fade. I think at 3 episodes, right? There's a statistic that speaks about that. How have you been able to keep consistent with that?
The interviews help a lot because I have them scheduled. So it's like, okay, I made this commitment. I can't cancel 10 interviews. And then also the listeners that I have are looking forward to listen to it as it grows. So it's like I made a commitment and I have to honor it. And it's just another part of my marketing and it helps with everything.
Hmm. Now, there seem to be a spiritual side of many entrepreneurs that I speak with. If that is true, if there is that side to who you are and what you do, please tell me, how do you maintain that aspect? Because, I mean, we're pushing the physical side of our bodies tremendously as entrepreneurs. Again, how do you handle that from a spiritual perspective?
I make sure to always make time for prayer, meditation, to get in and study my Bible. I remember when I first started my business, I had someone tell me to keep my business and my faith separate so I wouldn't offend other people. And I found that very difficult to do because it's my faith that keeps me going and keeps me encouraged. And so I was like, you know what? I can't listen to them. So I schedule that time regularly and I attend worship service every week. And I also love volunteering to help others, whether it's something at an event at a church or another business event. So, like that spiritual side of me is just really a servant and always open to learning more.
Hmm. How has that impacted the family side of your life?
It has been great. I don't have any kids or anything,
I
so it's
remember you
just
said you had nephews and nieces, right?
yes, I have nephews and nieces, and it's great because the more I grow in my business, I have more free time to spend with them. And also, I see that they're watching me, and I also see like I have other family members, like my cousins, or even some of my aunts and uncles are watching and they're cheering me on. So it's great to know that they're there and that they're part of my foundation.
Now, the personal side of life. Oh my, giving yourself the time that's necessary to grow and to learn. I journal and I struggle with it, right? In that I wish I could journal every day, but sometimes I get up and it's not the first thing I do, so it just gets piled on. Like a lot of tasks just get piled on top of it. And then when I look back, it's like the day is gone and I don't get it done. How are you keeping the personal side of your life balanced?
I love to journal, actually. That's just funny that you say that because I love to journal. So I do almost every day. And then even sometimes in the middle of the day, I have to schedule a break. Like a few weeks ago, I was working, writing emails, and I was like, I need a break. My creativity is drained. So I just got up and went for a walk around the neighborhood or even going to the park because it allows me a break for myself. And during that time, I'm able to listen to podcasts or even audiobooks, which help build me up as a person. And so just forcing myself to like, okay, look, you need to take a break because I'm not productive if I'm overwhelmed or if I'm feeling drained. So I make sure to always take a break.
The law of diminishing returns, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, focusing on the diminishing word as well, one of the conversations we've been opening up is the conversation of death. Are you approaching that conversation openly? Do you think about the possibility that you could die today or tomorrow? And if you are, how are you using that to position yourself in this lifetime?
I'm using it to encourage others to stand out in their voice and also myself to continue pushing forward. I actually recently had a good friend of mine that passed away. We went all the way through high school together. And so that's another reminder that life is short. So the time to live your dreams and goals is now because you never know when your last day will be. So make a commitment to living your life to the fullest each and every single day. And I kind of keep that at the forefront of my mind because this could be my last opportunity to pour into someone, to make an impact, and to create my own legacy.
Hmm. There is the financial side of what goes on with our lives, and it impacts tremendously within the coaching business. As you said, you came out there, you saw the challenges that were occurring. Of course, it impacted on the financial side of business, and you needed to do what was necessary to make it grow. And you did that. What's one tip you could give to someone out there who's a coach or who's even entering in the online space, how they can keep their finances in order?
Keep your finances in order. There's a lot I could say about that, but definitely making sure that you're monitoring your finances. So many times I meet people that they won't even look at their bank account to see what's going on. And if you don't monitor it to know what's going on, there's no way that you can control or manage it or know what you need to bring in or even know, okay, well, maybe it's time to increase your prices, but you wouldn't know that if you're not paying attention to what's coming in and what's coming out.
Tandee, again, you've brought value to our conversation, value to me and the amazing audience. I do appreciate you, my friend. In closing, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Yes, I would just want to encourage the audience to continue to push forward towards your dreams and live your best life to the fullest potential that you have.
Tandee Salter, I love the last name, right? It's like the salt and the light of the world, right? And how necessary it is to be salt and light. So I appreciate you. Again, thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. This podcast is produced by Pod Edits. Visit podedits.com for professional podcast publishing.